Darrell Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848. Appearances, please.
Zach Witchow.
Sir, state your name for the record, please.
I'm here as a third-party intervener in this matter. As authorized representative for my client, I accept for value and return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments. And for the record, I do not consent to or agree to being called that name that you have identified here today.
The record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Darrell Brooks is present in person, in custody, in street clothes, specifically a suit and tie and a mask. I just also want to make a record quickly that a number of documents were left by Mr. Brooks in the holding area just outside the courtroom. They have been put on his desk today. It's all of the autopsy protocols that were provided to him yesterday, the hard copies, that is, the diagrams that were presented in court related to those protocols, and a copy of the pretrial offer. So I just wanted to make that record. Hold on. Not right yet, please. So I have been advised that all of the jurors are here and ready to go. I presume the state has available its next witness.
Yes. We do. We'd also move State's Exhibit 162A into evidence.
As to 162A, Mr. Brooks, any position on that?
Yeah, I object. I haven't even seen it, first of all. And second of all, again, for the record,
Mr. Brooks, I'm dealing only with the exhibit right now. Sorry for the interruption, but I need to do that without interruption from you. 162A was a screen capture that related to an annotation that a witness made. I believe that was during witness number 34. Yes, that was Mr. Hallmark. And so based upon that, Exhibit 162A is received, and I will so advise the jury when they come in. Sir, I'm not going to address any preliminary matters at this point. I've already addressed a number of things yesterday. The jury is to be brought out.
No, there was some things that need to be discussed about the paperwork from yesterday.
We'll take that up on a break. You can look over it. You can make a note and pass it to
I've
my clerk.
already looked over it, Your Honor. With all respect, I think there's some things.
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to deal with it right now. It's paperwork. I just wanted it notated that you left it, and now it's being provided to you again.
I'm not referring to that paperwork.
I'm not dealing with the paperwork from the clerk of court's office either. I am not the custodian. We're going to bring the jury out.
Okay, but she should know that she's trying
to get me
to pay.
Stop. I am not addressing it.
It has to be addressed, Your
All right,
Honor.
I'm going to take a quick break and make sure the jury's ready, and we'll bring out the
If I don't address it now.
All right, thank you. The jury can come on out.
So we're not going to address this civil matter?
No.
I was told to pay for something under a civil statute.
Mr. Brooks, I am not the custodian. Bring it up with the clerk of court.
How
I'm
can
not
I bring
addressing
it up with the clerk of court? How am I supposed to do that? So that makes me wonder if it's a
Mr.
civil
Brooks,
case.
the jury's coming out. I'm not going to address your request for open records. I'm not the custodian of the records, sir.
Who's being sued? My Sesky Trust is being sued? Civil
Mr. Brooks, this is an irrelevant matter that you're attempting to bring up in the presence of the jury. The record should reflect these interruptions.
Before the jury came out, Your Honor.
And I told you I wasn't going to address it. Please.
Okay, so it's a civil matter. Who's being sued? My safety trust, because how can I be
Mr.
sued?
Brooks, you're talking about an irrelevant matter between you and the
It
clerk
wasn't,
of court.
it wasn't irrelevant
So-
when I got the paperwork from the clerk of courts. I was simply
Mr.
trying to
Brooks,
address it.
I'm not going to address it. The jury will
So I'm
disregard
being
these
sued.
irrelevant
This is a civil
comments.
matter. We haven't addressed subject
All
matter
right, thank you,
jurisdiction yet at all
everyone.
either.
Please be seated. The jury
So
will
we're not gonna
disregard the
address subject
statements
matter?
Mr. Brooks is making about subject matter jurisdiction. They are a misstatement of the law.
Yes, no,
All right,
they're not.
and
Just like this is a civil case.
Mr. Brooks, the jury's here. Please
Just like
show
this is a
respect
civil case.
and decorum.
According to this document, this is a
Mr.
civil
Brooks,
case,
please stop.
which means someone is being sued. Civil is a suit.
Mr. Brooks, you're talking about an irrelevant matter.
I have the
I'm
paperwork
starting
sent
the
by the
trial.
clerk of courts right here that says it's a civil matter.
Mr. Brooks
So
has
what's
nothing
being
to
sued?
do with
My
this
safety
case.
trust is being sued.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
I got the paperwork right here.
all right, I'm
How
going
do
to
you not
excuse
know what
the
I'm
jury
talking
right
about?
now, given this disruption. All rise for the jury.
This should be properly addressed before the jury even comes out. That's why I tried to properly address it before we even went on the record.
Mr. Brooks, stop.
I'm not gonna. This is.
You are
I
not
was
being
given
respectful
this
to this
paperwork by you, Your
proceeding
Honor,
or to
with all
this jury.
respect.
No,
With
it's
all
not.
due
With all due
respect,
respect,
with all due
stating that
respect,
doesn't make it
I was given
respectful.
this paperwork by you,
Mr.
from
Brooks,
Monica Paz.
stop talking
the
till the
clerk of
jury
court.
is out.
Okay,
Thank you.
so why couldn't we address this before they came out?
I'm
That
not
was the
going to
time-
address it,
That
bottom
was the
line.
time to address it, though. We're supposed to do all the addresses before the jury comes out, before we start the matter.
Please
I was
be
trying to
seated.
simply address paperwork that was given to me by you, Your Honor. That states that
Mr.
this-
Brooks,
it states that
you
this
have
is a
interrupted
civil
me
matter.
repeatedly. You are on the verge of being removed to that courtroom. I don't want to
On-
do
on
that.
what-
I want you to stay here.
on what
But
fact of the
you
law, Your
keep
Honor?
interrupting me and bringing up irrelevant matters. I told you yesterday, as a courtesy that was provided to you, so that you would frankly not complain that you didn't get it as quickly as possible. Okay? I am not the custodian of the records. If you have an issue with what was provided to you, how it was provided to you, then take it up with the clerk of
She
court.
can't
But
charge
from
me.
now on, I am not going to be the messenger and give you documents that you request to the custodian of the records or from the custodian of the records. They will simply have to be delivered to you at the jail. But that is in response to your discussion or whatever we want to call it this morning. I'm not taking it up.
It should-
All right? It is irrelevant.
It needed to be noted for the record.
It doesn't
Because
need
it
to be
was-
noted, sir.
You
All right,
gave
the
it to
jury's
me-
coming
you gave
back
it to
out,
me in
and I'm
open
going
court.
to warn you, if you bring this up again, I will pause, and I will remove you to the next courtroom for being disrespectful, for being interruptive, for being disruptive, and for bringing up irrelevant matters in front of this jury. You will forfeit your right to be present for the direct examination of this witness.
I object to that,
Did you
Your Honor.
hear what I said,
No,
sir?
I did not. I object to that, Your Honor.
Well, you can
And
object, and your
you-
objection is noted, but if you
For the
interrupt
record-
when this jury
for
comes
the
out,
record-
they will go, I will have them taken out again, and you will be removed to the next
For the-
courtroom.
You can't. What is the legal basis for that ruling, Your Honor?
Illinois versus Allen, sir, and all of the
And-
other cases that
and it
I've
doesn't
cited
say
previously.
anything-
I'll make the appropriate record. Stop interrupting me. The jury's coming out. We're continuing with this trial despite your repeated efforts to disrupt.
That's a
Yesterday,
mischaracterization
sit
of the
down.
record.
Yesterday alone, sir, 17 interruptions, not including the opportunity that I gave you where you spent 15 minutes, okay, discussing what were primarily either irrelevant or baseless accusations and requests not based in law or fact. I was abundantly patient with you yesterday.
And you still haven't
And-
verified by proof any of what I
And
said,
none
Your
of that
Honor.
is required, sir.
Because it
And
is. You can't verify.
your
any proof.
belief
Where's
that
the
that's the
subject matter-
law
where's the subject matter
doesn't make it
jurisdiction?
so, Mr. Brooks. Your belief that these are legitimate legal positions
They are.
doesn't change the law and doesn't make it so.
It's
So,
clearly
again,
relevant because you didn't want to.
I'm going to step off and give Mr. Brooks 5 minutes to cool off, and when that
I don't
happens,
need
I'm
to
bringing
cool
the
off.
jury
I'm
out,
not angry at all.
and then we will
I just wanted
continue.
to. I don't.